I'm back. Dime si la viste esta chico one time. No solo en mis sueños.
Let me tell y'all something. We blessing y'all today. Today, we got two women who got gas.
Okay,
Look at that. Gas squad. Gas squad. Gas.
I was thinking that. I like that.
So shout out to all my ladies out here with gas, okay?
And still fine.
It's still fine. Boo. Yes, yes, yes. Big shout out to Andre Malos. We are playing Trina. Get it, Lady Crystal. What? You are on the scene. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are here with the beautiful, talented Miss Crystal Iris, or shall I say, Bossette extraordinaire.
Okay.
What?
Girl, because it don't even matter.
Yes, yeah. Yes. This is a very special night. Not only are we here with this beautiful, talented lady right here, but this will be our final show before we go on hiatus. Yeah, we taking a break from y'all now, okay? No, I'm just like, we love y'all. We gotta take a little moment. So we're definitely honored to have you here.
Thank you.
You know,
I
to
appreciate
just
that.
end the year, you know, with you. You know, you're a beautiful, powerful woman, but not only woman, but you're a beautiful, powerful black woman. You know, and so it just warms my heart completely to see. I'm in the tunnel. Can y'all still hear me? I'm Darth Vader right now.
You really are.
Right. Whoa, dude. So it just really warms my heart just to see people like you out here, humble, you know, full of life, full of joy, and just giving back into the community because it's something that we need. You know, we live and deal with a lot of, you know, depression and anxiety. We literally will look like, you know, a dime piece walking with our stilettos and these pretty dresses, and we be on social media like, what's up, what up, what up? We go home and cry ourselves to sleep.
Ma'am.
You know, suicidal thoughts. So to have you step up, you know, into that and say, okay, you know, I'm going to be an advocate. I'm going to step up for my sisters. And this is sisters not in, and that as in just black women, just people in general, you know, but I'll just, you know, because I'm a woman, you know, women are just near and dear to me. So
That's right. Thank you. Oh my gosh. You were having too much fun in this show.
Look, y'all. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So without further ado, I do want to jump into, one of your biggest projects that you have going on right now. Just one of them, because she is definitely more than one thing, and she got a lot going on. But I do want to jump into this beautiful book, The Bossette Breakthrough.
Yes.
Girl, woo! Can we get a whoop whoop? Can we get a whoop whoop? Can we get a hey? Yes. This is the roadmap to more love, faith, and freedom, which I definitely call the three pillars. So just, Crystal, just let us know, you know, just the inspiration behind writing this book, because it's writing a book is not easy.
It is not easy.
Oh my goodness.
It's not easy. I actually wrote the book 4 years ago while my grandmother was sick in the hospital. We were in a situation where we didn't quite know if she was going to make it or not, if she was transitioning or if something was just going on and she would just be sick for a while.
Right.
We had no idea what was going on. It was almost like a limbo type of ordeal. But throughout the process, I was able to see some miracles happening. So it was almost like I had a bird's eye view of what was happening. You know, when the doctor said, no, she can't be removed from this hospital.
Right.
We don't have any beds available. Something happened and they called back and said, hey, bring her here. You know, if you take her, then she may not make it.
Yeah.
And somehow she made it successfully.
Woo!
So it was just a lot of miracles that was taking place, you know, at that time. And so I started to write about it.
So do you feel like that event was necessary during your process to open up that window, or was writing this book something that you've always had in your spirit to do?
A little bit of both. I started with the nonprofit organization for girls that was based off of my story. The organization is called Hey Girl, Girls Under Reconstruction Accomplishing Life. And it's, like I said, it's based off of my story dealing with sexual assault and domestic violence, or dating violence, I should say. You know, things like that that happen to women very often. And a lot of women, especially Black women, we suffer in silence. And so I knew that writing would be a part of the journey, but I didn't know to what extent, you know. I wasn't ready for it when I first started it in 2010. But going through that experience with my grandmother, I realized that there was a lot of spiritual gifts that I was being aware to, you know. Yeah, so I was becoming aware of my spiritual gifts, and once I became aware of my spiritual gifts, I was like, whoa, something's happening here. You know, and so to me, that was the Bossette breakthrough. Ooh. Just to be able to identify, like, ooh, that's a problem, but here's the lesson.
Right.
You know.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I love it, because recognition is everything. Yeah. You know, when you discover, when you get those nuggets, when you fully understand and evolve, you know, in your mind. So wow.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of both. It talks about my sexual assault in here. Wow. It talks about my experiences in relationships. I really believe that relationships, especially in traumatic experiences in general, you know, whatever we go through, they condition us to believe certain things about ourselves. Some things are true, and some things are not true. Right. And so once we learn the lesson, we can kind of do away with the rest of the stuff that's crap, you know, depending on the way that we internalize and process that experience.
Because it's a blessing or a lesson, or a little bit of both. Because even with good experiences, you can take something away from it. So, okay, this is great, but this is something that I can maybe fix or correct, or maybe, or So I love it. So do you mind reading us an excerpt? Did I say that right? Excerpt.
Yes, you said it right. Let me sure.
I'm putting her on the spot, y'all.
You did, because I wasn't prepared for the excerpt. Let me see.
Oh my goodness, yes. And while she's looking, let me read how she defines the term Bossette.
Oh, that means. I'm just gonna read that person. Let me find some ears.
No, go. You do it. See, great minds, baby. Look at me, look. I love it. No, I love it. Go ahead. We on the same page, boo.
Okay.
My dark Veda. I swear.
Okay, you tell me when to stop, okay?
Okay.
So, okay. I say that a Bossette is a powerful woman who is spiritually in tune and knows that there is a calling on her life. She is a feminine force that is exceptionally crafted into the embodiment of a physical being. She works under divine guidance and purpose with healing abilities for self and those within her reach. A Bossette is a game changer, a nurturer, and realizes that her power lies in being feminine. She knows that her past is only part of the story, and she has the strength to create a new story. A Bossette views life as a gift, and that which comes with it is part of the territory. She knows how to navigate the roadblocks and embrace obstacles as lessons to carry with her.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? You just tackled like everything. And what is the rest of the book about? I mean, oh my God, you tackled so much within those few paragraphs. So becoming that Bossette, I guess is that phase where it seemed like you're wandering in the wilderness, like you're in the desert. So the becoming part. So let's talk a little bit about becoming this person who can navigate and who can heal as well as receive it, who can be feminine but yet a boss. Because sometimes we feel like we get real buff and stuff.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta be a man in order to you know. So just kind of elaborate on some of the things you said.
I actually talk about that very thing in the book. That very thing, and it's because of those experiences. Okay, I'm telling you, fill in the gap. Okay, so that's what my mama say. Step in the gap, fill in the gap. So yes. This man over here, I can't.
I'm not looking at it.
I'm not about to play with you.
See, I'm trying. You see, I'm trying to direct it right over here. Yeah, we just so y'all know, while we struggling, Jay Davis is over here in the corner, and we both trying
with the facials.
With the facials. So I'm trying to not look at them.
Okay. So I talk about how when we experience certain things, we oftentimes put up a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say, I'll use my sexual assault. So,
right.
Example. When I was in college, I was 19 years old. Loved this dude,
mm-hmm.
and I drank. And when I drank, I passed out. Now I can't say that I drank too much or if I was actually drugged. I don't know that, but I was a new drinker, and I don't recall drinking that much where it would make me pass out.
Right,
so
right.
I'll just take that.
Okay.
Now, when I passed out, I woke up to him raping me, and he was doing some things that I would never ever approve of. He would ask me to do those things with him while I was awake,
right.
and normal, and he took advantage of it when I was passed out. So something like that will cause women to put a guard up.
Yeah.
They become angry, they become bitter, and it is a lot of emotions that come with that.
Right.
You are ashamed, you're embarrassed, is it my fault, you blame yourself, and then we start protecting the
assailant or the gentleman or
you protect them. And I did protect him because I knew that if I told my daddy, if I told my frat brothers, oh yeah,
right,
there would be no more him.
Oh,
okay, I knew that for a fact. There would not be him, and it wasn't that I was intentionally protecting him. I wanted to save his life.
Right.
Yes. I wanted to save his life.
Oh my gosh.
But we do that, and when we go and if we don't learn the lesson from that, then we go into some of the same patterns that attracted us to this type of person.
So
and we
true.
start going into, other type of things like dating violence. So now somebody's hitting you too.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And it becomes like this snowball effect.
Right.
And we harden.
Yeah.
And we do get macho. And we do get angry. And we don't want to mess with no fuckboys.
Right, yeah. We don't want
but the thing is, we think every man is a fuckboy.
Everybody gets thrown in that category.
Everybody gets thrown in that category. And we have, insecurities that we carry with us all the time. And if we don't confront those and deal with it and heal from it,
right,
we just walking around and suffering in silence and not being seen, not being heard. We just here.
Right.
Mad.
Just existing, just
Mad.
angry.
Yeah.
Angry woman. We're not even going because I hate the angry black woman thing. Like, we ain't the only one with attitudes up in here, okay? I see some white girls roll, they ain't better than mine. But yeah, you walk around being this angry woman, and I think there's a form, because I've experienced domestic violence, and when I was in elementary, I was almost raped by my good friend's brother. So and it is a traumatic experience, and I held all that in myself. And I think we, and I know they like PTSD. Yeah. They.
Go ahead, girl. That's my girl.
Yes. Okay. Yes, because we always relate that to the army and people who've been, over in the war, but I think we suffer from that a lot, in our everyday lives. And you said you tackled that too. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I talk about that.
Oh my goodness. So in the process of writing this book, what was because when you write something like this, you have to be really vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
Really open and vulnerable to the things you love about yourself, things you hate about yourself. You have to come face to face with, in that mirror, and you have to make peace, with the guy who did that, with the person who did that. You got to make peace. So what was your healing process like during the writing this book? I don't know how long it took you to write this, or what was that like for you? Just going through the motions and being on the other side of it, looking back, what was that experience like?
I think just being courageous enough to do it.
Yes.
But even once I wrote it, like I said, it still took me 4 years to actually publish the book. And so I went through several different editors, and some editors wanted to change the content of it, and I was like, absolutely not, you can't change the content. Or there were editors who I felt didn't edit enough. And I was finally like, let me just find something. You know, I kept adding things, kept changing things, kept changing the structure a little bit.
Right.
I kept messing with it because I wanted the story to not offend people or, you know, things like that. Right. And I was like, let me not do that.
How's that? Yeah.
Let me just be real and raw with what it is, and this is what it is. And so I think I felt more healed because we're always constantly healing. Right. I'm not 100% healed.
Right.
I still have insecurities and some thoughts that pop up, but now I have tools that are inside the book, tools that can help navigate, you know, when those insecurities do pop up for me. But when I published the book, I felt like, well, that's what it is. Yeah. I'm good. Like, I'm at a different space in my life than when I first wrote the book 4 years ago.
That is beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
So for a young girl who's just going through the changes, maybe a single mom, maybe you know, whatever the case may be. So I know you have the steps in the book, and I definitely won't have you get into all the steps. But what is like that first step to just breathing? You know, waiting to exhale when Whitney Houston and the guy was there and he was dancing with her and he gave her a hug or something and she let out that breath, that exhale. That moment was so just everything to me. I didn't fully, it stuck in my mind, but when I grew up and I was actually, I understood what that meant. That exhale, that, yes, okay, I'm in a different space, or, you know, so what would be your advice to that young lady who's just trying to kind of gain her footing, I would say?
For a young lady that's just trying to gain her footing, I think you have to sit in your, as they try to.
Sit in your shit, okay?
Yeah. You gotta sit in it. But when you're sitting in it, you're not just actually sitting in it, but you're sitting in it so that you can feel what you need to feel and start to conquer those things. Like, you gotta start confronting, what is it that I'm feeling?
Right.
Why am I feeling this? Like, where is it coming from? Right. What's the purpose in this? What's the lesson in this? You know, you have to start questioning yourself and be okay with looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, like, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
That is the exhale. And once you can say, Crystal, I'm not good, you know, or or Racheal, I'm not good today.
Yeah.
When you can look in the mirror and say that to yourself, that gives you the exhale, because you don't have to live falsely. You know, you don't have to be fake.
You can live your truth.
You can live your truth, and that's my girl. I have something in here called "Kill the Image, Live Your Truth." Woo! Because when I was going through my situations, I was upholding an image of something. I've always been the good girl, Crystal. You know, the good Crystal, got the good grades. So when I went through my sexual assault and my dating violence situations, I didn't tell anybody those things because I had an image to uphold.
Right.
And so I had not dealt with my stuff because I got an image.
Right.
I can't have nobody talking about my parents. I can't have nobody talking about
Crystal.
Yes. I can't. I got an image to uphold. And so once I decided that I was going to kill the image and just live my truth, that's just what it was. That was my exhale. I don't have to be perfect.
There you go.
And my aunt says I'm perfect in my imperfections.
I love it.
I snagged that from her.
Yes. Because there you go. And even with finding relationships, also, you know, Crystal, Iris, you know, she has a relationship talk show that she does with Jay Davis, you know, which I'm glad he's not looking up doing no Facebook. Jay Davis, every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, iHeartRadio. And you can, you know, what page do you guys just share it on your pages?
We share it on our page. It's on intellectualradio.com.
Okay. So intellectualradio.com, iHeartRadio, as well as their pages. Definitely tune in. They will have you cracking up about
real
things.
Raw and honest conversations about dating and the relationship.
Yes.
I'm more level-headed than Jay Davis. He'll look crazy sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? The last time we was watching, did you have on a mask? Was it the Halloween one?
Yep.
Oh Lord, what was?
Dirty pool.
He was Dirty Pooh?
It was supposed to be, what's the real name?
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
Oh
he was
my.
Dirty Pooh.
And what character were you?
I said Little Red Riding Hood.
Little-
What I had?
Oh
I think
my
I just had on
What'd you have on?
a red.
Was it a red
No.
hoodie or something?
Yeah.
What did you have?
It was a
She
red
like, I'm
hoodie.
Little Red Riding Hood. We talk about relationships, but it's such a good show. They have definitely great chemistry. You know, wonder why. Great chemistry.
Let's do that.
Great chemistry, and it's definitely entertaining. And when we're talking about, you know, breakthroughs and faith, freedom, love, you know, when we jump into these relationships, it's like we jumping into these relationships when we don't love ourselves, when we don't have that freedom, when we don't even have the faith, you know. So just let's look at it from a relationship standpoint. When we get into these relationships and we don't have these pillars to stand by, what would be your advice to just to kind of navigate, you know, when you're trying to understand who you are and trying to find that person that you want to actually love and give yourself to as well?
I would say eliminate distractions. Yep. Eliminate distractions.
Yes.
Distractions can be relationships that are unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be the job.
Right.
It could be your parents. It could be your family.
Yeah.
A lot of times it is.
It can be your family up in your ear.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to eliminate distractions, and it can be your thoughts. And you have to constantly tell yourself, I have in here an activity where you can create your own vision statement and I am statement. And the cool thing about vision statements and I am statements is that you constantly say that to yourself to recondition your mind, because your mind don't know the truth between, you know, what's real and what's not.
Right.
So when you start to say that and repeatedly say those things to yourself, it just opens up these, you know, doors of opportunities for you.
Wow.
And then you can have that self-love and, you know, run into people who are also on self-love journeys.
Right. It kind of sets you on a path.
It does.
Because you're open to accept that energy at this point. Because before, like we said, you're closed off.
Yep, you guard
And
it.
you attract that negative energy because you go towards, you know, we're magnetic.
It's familiar.
Yes, there you go. So when you have that positive, even if you listen, you gotta fake it till you make it, right? That's what she's saying. Even if you don't feel it, even if you, oh my gosh, you gotta say these things. I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm worthy. I'm enough. You know, just different little things. So that's great. Just, oh my gosh, don't y'all want to get this book? Oh my girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
But to also go a little further into that, once you feel like you're good,
Right.
you know, and you can have these healthy relationships, I'm into energy too.
Yes.
So one thing that I did was I kind of went through each of my relationships, and I don't think I put it in. I don't remember putting it in a book, but this is an activity that I did that I'm not sharing. But I wrote down the relationships that I had been in, and I acted as if they was there, you know, right in front of me. I was in my room by myself, and I had a conversation. Hey, look, G, I appreciate you for this part of my journey, for being a part of my journey for this part. Thank you for this lesson.
Right.
This is what I don't like, and this is what the part that I'm throwing away.
Right.
Appreciate your deuces. You know.
Yes.
That's what I did, and then after that, I told myself, Crystal, I forgive you for this. I forgive you for accepting this. I forgive you for, you know, and that's what I did. And I did that for all the relationships that I have been through.
Right.
Until I could fill myself up. And once I did that, then I was able to manifest a beautiful love.
Wow. So you got closure.
I did. I got closure.
Because a lot of times we won't have that closure, and we'll be waiting when I talk to them again. When I talk to them, get my healing, I'm gonna get my closure. But sometimes you don't have that opportunity.
No.
So I love what you just said. I hope y'all are listening to this, because a lot of you, if you need closure, there's ways to get it. You don't. Sometimes you can't physically talk to that person, or they're not open to even receive what you want to say and have the fact you want to get things off your chest. They just flat out just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? So,
or they in denial about the story that took place. And for a long time, I held that from I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on what the actual term is, but anyways, offender, we'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
With my offender, it took me a while to forgive him because I went to him and I said, hey, look, this is what took place. And it was a few years later because I didn't even confront him about it.
Wow.
I didn't even confront him about it right away because of the shame and what I was feeling.
Right.
And then you start to question, especially when it's in a relationship, you start to question, can your boyfriend rape you?
Right. Is
You
that
know,
even, yeah, like
is
can
that
my
a
husband
thing?
really can?
Yeah, yes, they can.
Yeah.
Yes, they can.
Wow.
And so, so I had not confronted him or anything like that, but, where am I going with this? Help me out, what I say?
You were saying, you didn't confront him. I got all into it too.
I know.
And you were saying that you didn't even,
Jay, help me.
at the time, you didn't even say anything to him because you were like, can my boyfriend really
Right.
rape me?
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. Move on. It wasn't meant for me to say it right
This is
now.
my gap sister because I be doing that.
Yeah, it wasn't meant for me to say it right now.
Right.
It'll come back.
Yeah, so when we talk about just closure and being whole,
That's what it was. Thank you. So the closure. The closure. So I had like an entire workshop on forgiveness and like a talk show. I used to have a talk show, something like this.
Yeah.
And we were talking about forgiveness, and it was really hard because I went to him and I said, "Hey, look, this is what happened." And he was like, "So what you trying to say? You trying to get me locked up or what?" So he would never say, "I'm sorry" or "I apologize" or anything like that.
Right.
So I had to deal with that. So now I'm pissed off because this took place,
Right.
and you still want to apologize for it. Like, I'm suffering, and you good.
Right.
I'm suffering, and you won't apologize. So I had to say, okay. I just had to deal with that and say, okay, he's not going to apologize. And one thing that my mom told me, she said, first of all, forgiveness ain't for them.
Yep.
Forgiveness is for you.
Yes.
And it ain't your job to forgive nobody.
Right. Okay.
Said,
Go, mama.
That's God's
Go,
job.
mama.
That's God's
Go,
business
mama.
to forgive people.
Right.
And if
Yes.
you don't want to forgive him, you don't have to. But,
Oh my goodness.
that's mama speaking
Yeah.
out of anger and things like that. But in a lot of ways, she's right.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's for me. When I forgave him, that's when I took my power back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And I'm sure there's so many women out here that have been through it, including myself, been through situations, where we do hold it in, we don't forgive ourselves, we blame ourselves for putting ourselves in that situation, knowing, something like that could have been avoided, because I know especially some, down south, they be popping them pills and them drinks, boy, you better hold your drink in your shirt and sip it out of a straw, because they'll throw some real quick. So it's very important. You tapped into so many different things, but it's very important just to be guarded, and even in situations, maybe even if it's not your boyfriend, and you're out, out and about, have somebody with you. I know when me and my cousin, trusted, exactly, because when we were out, if I would see her getting a little too twisted, I'm gonna back off of it, so I can be aware of what's going on. So there's little things that y'all can do as well, when you're out and about, to help prevent some of these situations, because people are ferocious nowadays. They take, and I think it's just too much access to pornography, access to certain things that is right now, gimme. They can't take someone, being half dressed in front of them as well. So do you think, just with all that, what part do you think just social media and porn and different things just play in that self-esteem and that love and that freedom, especially as women, when you watching, somebody there spank me daddy and hit me and all this other stuff, and people got these certain things going on, and they get in the bedroom with you because they're putting on a facade. And it's a totally different thing. I know I'm tapping into a whole lot right now, but just how do those things, what role does those things play in our lives, and how do you think those things affect our love, our freedom, and our faith, because it all kind of balances out.
Well, I'm big into energy.
Right.
And I think the things that you feed yourself, the things that you feed your spirit are the things that are manifested.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel. So yeah, when you're watching a lot of porn, you might be a little jacked up in the head. When you're watching a lot of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not saying that porn is bad.
No, when it consumes you, anything.
When it
you know what? I shouldn't have looked up.
And it's like excessive, you know.
Yeah.
When it's excessive, you gotta start checking something. You gotta check something out.
Right.
You know,
it's like an addictive thing, whether it's heroin, whether it's food, whether it's porn can play that same part, and it affects love.
Yeah.
Because
you detach yourself from love and you just want sex, but you don't have any feeling. And you can go and get that from anybody, anything. You know?
Yeah, we become objects.
You become objects, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. For sex. Like, no attachment, like, you have no soul, no spirit, no nothing. You just an object that I'm about to freak on.
Yeah. And then we find ourselves getting entangled up in these relationships, and we don't know all the baggage that comes with it. So you don't understand why that man doesn't love you back, or why he just calls you for a booty call, why he can have 2 or 3 girlfriends. And even us women we some savages too, baby, okay? We be like, okay, next, okay, he my Wednesday man, he my Friday, okay, he my Sunday man, he take me out to good dinners.
Right.
So yeah, so how do you feel about how do you feel relationship wise? How do you feel about just monogamy, and how do you feel about having multiple wives, having multiple girlfriends? How do you feel about those things? Are you a you know what I'm saying? Quit playing. But how do you feel about those things? Do you feel like we're meant to be with one, that we do have that person, that one person that we're meant to be with the rest of our lives, or do you feel like there may be a few different people out here in this world that you're meant to be with, and it's okay to love more than to be in love with 2 people at one time? How do you feel about that? If you say it's okay, I'm about to go get me 2 boos. Okay, no.
I'll put it like this. I think monogamy is a beautiful thing. I'm not with having multiple wives and things like that.
Okay.
I believe that if you're having sex, you need to be having sex with one person.
Right.
Now, I do believe, when you say spending the rest of your life with one person, I believe that. But when I think about journeys, you can have the intention to spend the rest of your life with somebody. But I do believe that people come into your life for a reason and for a season.
Right.
And sometimes the season could be for the rest of your life. And other times the season might be cut short and y'all gotta separate.
Right.
Or get a divorce or something like that. For whatever the reason is that person comes into your life, they have to be a part of that journey for that time.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. So, monogamy will be for me. That's what I'm going to choose.
See, I understand that.
That's what I'm choosing for myself.
Yes.
And my prayer is that I can have one partner that I marry for the rest of my life.
Right. Yes.
That's my intention.
Yeah.
Now, what comes down the line, I don't know how things happen.
Right.
I don't know. But my intention and what I will work for
yes.
is a monogamous relationship.
Absolutely.
And marriage.
Yes. Okay. In that order.
In that order.
In that order. In that order. Oh my gosh, girl! I can literally talk to you all night. Seriously, you are my soul gap sister.
You are so sister. Silly.
Oh my goodness. So, dude, I'm gonna get this book. This is everything. Not only is it, you know, is she being real and she's being raw, but there's so many different elements and so many different stages for you to actually figure it out for yourself. You know, she asks the questions. Oh my gosh, what's your purpose? What does greatness look like to you? Some of these things are things people don't even ask themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like your limitations. What vision do you have for your life? Some people get up every day and just do things from day to day.
It's routine.
They have no idea
Yeah.
what they even want to do next week.
Mm-hmm.
So having a book like this where you can write. I'm a book person. I love libraries. I love the smell of books. I love the thought of being wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? Reading. So I'm totally a book person. Y'all millennials, I get it, but just get a book.
Yeah.
You know. Yes.
Gotta fill the pages.
Yes.
Write
Yes.
it, highlight.
Yes. Chapter 6. Who you riding with? I'm riding with Crystal Iris. Okay. Boss set extraordinaire. The boss set breakthrough. The roadmap to more love, faith, and freedom. Let everybody know, please, how to get in contact with you and where they can purchase your book.
Yes. So, you can purchase my book at www.thebossetbreakthrough.com, and make sure you stay tuned to that because I have my release party coming up. Yeah, that'll be at the top of 2019. I gotta get through some stuff first. But that'll be at the top of 2019. And then, what else I got? Oh, lots of webinars coming up next year. More videos, things of that nature. My fan page is Crystal Iris, the Boss Set Extraordinaire, as well.
Yay!
And my book is on the website, thebossetbreakthrough.com.
Thebossetbreakthrough.com. This is a good read for anyone who's just trying to really just tap into, just get into a quiet place and try to fully understand the essence of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's important. You know, you can't just go. You'll look up and you're 50 years old and have no idea who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's important for you to understand your purpose. We're all born with a purpose. You can be great at a million things, but you still you have a specific purpose.
Yeah.
Several of them. So definitely cop this book. I'm getting this book because this is my soul sister, okay? We got the gap thing going on. Mara got her gap. You got your gap, Mara. Mara got her gap. Lucy J, you got gaps. Smile, Jay.
Nah.
Jay ain't got no gap. He ain't in the gap gang. And you guys make sure y'all tune in to Crystal and Jay's show every Wednesday, 8 o'clock at intellectualradio.com, iHeartRadio. And if you are not following them, let them know how to follow you on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff.
Instagram, I am Crystal Iris, and Facebook is Crystal Iris, the Boss Set Extraordinaire, or Crystal Iris, my personal page.
Yay! And it's such a pleasure. We definitely loved having you. Girl, you got to come back.
I will.
We
Thank
there
you.
for it.
It was fun.
Yes. And we got to do some workshops with you because you have so many things in here. And when it's broken down, when people can actually hear it come from your mouth, it's really going to change a lot of lives. I believe in you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes! We in the baby chairs today. Love it. Yes. So once again, the Bossette Breakthrough, the roadmap for more love, faith, and freedom. And this is a great tool to use if you just don't know how to get started, where to start. You know, it's great when you can read someone else's story, and then she has roadmaps within this book to help you figure it out. It's very important to do that for yourselves, because if you're not healthy and whole, what can you do for the world? What can you do for that family? What can you do for that husband? It's very important that you get your act together. Yes. And once again, you are on the scene. I'm Racheal J. We got Crystal Iris here. This is our last show before we go on our hiatus.
Congratulations.
Yes, we getting up out of here for a little minute, but we'll be right back. Come on, Jay, you want to do a little Michael Jackson dance for us? We'll be right back. He's like, girl, if you don't shut up, stop calling my name up on this mother. I can read mine. Yes, and we gonna let Mr. Andre Bellows take us out here with a little bit of Trina. Big shout out to Andre. Man, boy, you did it with this song, boy. Yes. Andre! You watching us, boo? Hey. What? Crystal Iris up in the house. I better cop this box set straight through. It will make you smarter, taller. Yes, great book. Love, faith, freedom, 3 pillars. Look forward to seeing some big things from Crystal Iris, y'all. We definitely gonna have her back on the scene. We can dive into this. It's some deep details. Go for these roadmaps. Let me get my roadmap on, okay? Yes. Till next time, 2018, 2019, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Don't be calling, don't be emailing. We're not doing no more interviews until next year, okay? You got it. Thank you, back. Nah, just playing. Love y'all. Racheal J, Crystal Iris.
Bye-bye.